So this is race 1 at the Nationals. About 12 knots, breeze has just filled in, been quite a weight on the water. No racing for the event so far. Now this start was quite a bit more pin biased than we'd kind of expected. We were kind of set up furthest right of the bunch. Well, you see two more boats further right than us, but the majority pack underneath us towards the favoured pin end.
Above us, 14, 10, 9, 8, 5,
Not too bad of a wind up for the start, but Ben's got us tight to leeward, really putting the pinch on, so it's quite a while until we are able to sail our own mode. I think in this scenario you want to be careful not to get any leeward heel on, because you can drop your rig and sail plan down into the dirty air of the boat's leeward. So you want to keep the boat dead upright or slightly heel to windward. Just gauging off on Ben and Dick now and able to go and get the lines, kind of make that final adjustment. Really felt for those first few seconds I couldn't afford to take my weight off the trapeze, off the righty moment. Other boats seemed to be a bit fast forward on us generally. I think our VMG mode was good, but this first race where the left hand corner was favoured, I think the tide hadn't quite changed out there, so the left hand side was favoured, and those who could put the bow down and get out fast that left hand side, thinking Taylor and Ben and Tim and Arthur in this first race really smashed out to that left hand side at warp speed. So the conversation there was just that we'd knocked down from about 120 to 130. Just thought it was a pretty good time to go back across the course, so put the tack in. We weren't doing very well speed wise compared to those boats below us either, so first race of the Nationals not terribly encouraging. So here you see Mo and Hugh kind of trotting across our bow, so they were on the boats out of the port end of the line, tacked relatively early. I guess they lost the lane, but well kind of bow forward and fast on us. I think as I see them in my peripheral vision, I make the call to kind of drop into a lower mode. See the boom kind of coming off the centre line a little bit more than we normally would sail with. I think our VMG mode was pretty good actually, but there's no point going fast and high if you're just sailing up into someone's gas, so we really just had to try and match their mode as best as possible, so put the bow down for a bit more speed. We are slowly coming up to them, but you know, making sure we're never dropping our bow backwards and getting into their dirty air, so starting to inch forward into them. It's quite a nice little drag race this. But that decision just to momentarily put the bow down to make sure they couldn't get their dirty air across our face was key there to holding the lane. And now the lane's a bit more comfortable. They've dropped back on us a little bit. We can start coming up into this normal VMG mode. You can see the boom is a little bit closer on average to the centre line here. Feeling a bit more comfortable here to bring the bow up and sail the normal VMG mode, which is kind of with the boom just a little bit off the centre line. You can see how each boat just kind of surges forward, then they hit a wave and they drop back again. It's really just those kind of like steering just a few inches of rudder movement to get over those waves, which can make the difference. Feel them slide back on us again and getting a bit more confident now. Really holding this higher mode. I think also the breeze dropped off a little bit, so this higher mode starts to pay. You can see even on the mast cam looking backwards, you're getting glimpses of them on our hip. There they are, we're just coming bow forward on them, so we've worked up to them, stayed off the threat of them rolling us just by going in that low mode for kind of 10-20 seconds. And then once we feel like we're clear and we're safe, we can go back into our VMG mode and crawl up on them. Additionally, there is a help. We are knocked about 10-15 degrees as we come into this right hand side of the course, which A, helps us on the boat as we went out left, and B, also makes it harder for Mo and Hugh on our hit. Still a pretty good fight between the two of us. They tack off there. I think that's their ley line call, so I have a look at it, go as well. I think we've actually gone a bit past the ley line. Probably should have been paying a bit more attention and kind of simo tack with them. Hugh and Mo are a little bit early, and you'll see as you approach the women mark, they do have to dig in deep. Now the boats out left have done well, and you'll see as we get into this mark, they all come steaming in. Go for the hoist there. I take my weight off, but I'm a bit worried about not making the mark. And now we're back in the hunt with Mo and Hugh. Just get the roll on them. I think they were kind of pretty sporting about this. They could have come up really hard on us here, but they didn't. Just managed to roll over them. I think kind of fairly sensible from them. It can be a bit difficult situation when you're being rolled. The urge is to luff up hard, but if you hit the dirty air from the boat above, you can end up capsizing to windward, and that is slow. Sometimes it's best to do what Mo does here, just concede the position, keep both boats going fast, and then as soon as the boat rolls over the top, they go into attack mode. So push up high and really pressing us for the roll now. Great bit of action down this run though. They, you know, just because you've gone over the top of someone doesn't mean they can't get back at you, and they're right on our hit. Felt like any moment I was going to get a spinnaker pole around the ear. This is fantastic. This is exactly what you do 800 sailing for. Kind of 15 knots, maybe a bit more, lumpy eastbourne sea, and boats going kind of 15 to 20 knots in close proximity. So guys, just talking about going early there, we've kind of got past the threat of them re-rolling us, and we're now looking at the boats ahead. Text but move is just to jibe slightly before them or simultaneously to them, so we're just keeping an eye on the boats in front. Rolling into the jibe. Hugh and Mo carry on a little bit. Not a bad jibe though, don't say so myself. Hugh and Mo jibe there, and you can see, I think the pink kite is Taylor and Ben, and the blue kite right out front is Tim and Arthur. So they are down below us, and we feel like we're maybe getting into them a bit. Might be another boat actually, might be another blue kite in there. Not sure who that is. Maybe Blake and Brett. So here we've not really managed direct rolling. Sometimes if you kind of jibe just before a boat ahead of you, you can affect their wind. That's not really the case here. But I always think jibing a little bit early means that when you do jibe back onto starboard, you have that starboard advantage. So any little gust that comes down the course as you head back towards the centre can help. Much prefer an earlier jibe out the corner. Just managed to get through those two boats into second place, so it's Tim and Arthur ahead with the light blue kite, and this is Ben and Taylor just inside as you get the tight rounding, but just a bit of experience on getting everything tidied up super quick, control lines on and into that kind of VMG mode as quick as possible. Allows us just to carry the speed around the outside of that Leeward mark rounding. Now we tack here, but we're quite overstood. Straight away we realise we've, fully boom out, jibbies, decent gap behind us, so not under any pressure. It's really looking ahead at Tim and Arthur and just working out what the options are to attack them downwind. I think the first thing you've got to do is just get a nice set, just so you can put the pressure on immediately. Have them looking behind them. I think they sail like a little bit more up on the wires, and that makes us hard to kind of drop down on their hip. Guy's just working the boat here, kind of pushing through his legs just to tip the boat over the edge of the wave and get it surfing down the next one as quick as possible. Also lift up the pressure on the front foot if it ever looks like the bow, or more likely in the 8, the spinnaker pole's quite low strung, so it's just letting a bit of pressure off that bow to let the spinnaker pole raise above the waves. So at this point it's looking quite good on them. We dropped down just inside their quarter. But I think as that nice gust that we had gets to them, they start extending away again. So again, they're jibing and the set play is to simultaneously jibe with them. Just our positioning, and they've fumbled the main sheet in the jibe a little bit. Not the end of the world, but not a fantastic jibe. But I think that, coupled with the fact that we weren't quite enough on their hip to really put pressure on. So now we are relying on a big gust kind of giving us a little bit of luck to get us down inside them. There you have it. Tim and Arthur comfortably hold us off in the first race for the win. Not a bad way to open the Nationals, I think. It was pretty, solid sailing around the course. Don't think we made any too big of mistakes. Maybe the last ley line call could have made a difference to us. But hey, what a great boat to be racing.